looks like I'm living rent-free in your heads again, huh? I mean, if you're gonna spend your days obsessing over me, you might as well start calling me something respectable. Maybe Daddy Shizzy, or better yet, Papa Nut. Who's the grown-up here? Oh right, it's me. Let's go. Call me Daddy, yeah, that's who I am. Running your mind's like a master plan. Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy, take your pick. I'm opening your thoughts while you still act sick. Call me Daddy, it's what you mean. Why you chase the crooks and I take the lead? Living rent-free, that's my name. Go ahead, say it, put some respect on your name. Man, I'm too old, well here's a surprise. I'm the one with the brains while you're stuck with the lies. You act like you're experts, but here's the reality. I'm the one controlling your mental reality. So while you're out there trying to throw shade, I'm sipping coffee and you're feeling betrayed. You're mad, I got the spotlight, now it's my time. So why not call me Daddy or Papa with a rhyme? I'm the landlord and you're just the tenants, stuck in your headspace with no end to sight, no repentance. Call me Daddy, you know it's true. You'd be lost without me, stuck in the glue. Call me Daddy, I'm opening your mind while you're scrambling, trying to find what's behind. Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy, don't you see? You're living in my world now, I'm the VIP. Call me Daddy, just let it be. While you're trying to figure out your own identity. Oh, I see you're confused, trying to get it right. Spinning your wheels while I'm out of sight. You think you've got it figured, but you got it all wrong. I've been running your minds all along. But sure, keep pretending you don't care. Keep saying you're done, but I'm still in the air. You got no choice but to bow to my name. Daddy Shizzy is here to own the game. You say you don't watch, but you're obsessed. Every word I say puts you to the test. Call me Daddy, Papa Nut, you know you should. Because I've been living rent-free, and you know it feels good. Shizzy Daddy, owning your headspace, and there's no escape. Good luck with that.
Hello, everybody. Yes. We are going to have an open letter tonight. But first, before we get to that open letter, I want you guys to hear something I've been working on, and let's see how are we going to do this. Every 5 gift membership, $5. We'll do a track off of this one, and it's definitely not the same as last night. Trust me on that. Welcome there, Phoenix. Oh man, where is it? Let me see. I think it's muted. Here we go.
Welcome to
there we
the
go.
shit show.
Yes, every single day. A new flavor of fuckery, 'cause everybody sucks, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of plots. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
and then 4 more days
oh
of
yeah.
stupid, ridiculous,
President Dude, good to see you. Gotta jump in the shower? Oh, you don't want to miss this. Tonight's gonna be a good one. Thank you so much, Phoenix, for being here. 11 months, 1 more month, and that makes 12. But I'll give you guys just a taste of what the song. She says, oh, the song. Woohoo!
Welcome to the shit
yes,
show.
Man.
Every single day.
Not just 1 or 2.
A new flavor of fuckery.
'Cause everybody sucks, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of plots. Monday, Tuesday, 15 months. Stars Z, oh my gosh.
Ridiculous, ignorant, boulder, dash, poppycock,
Bollocks and fuckery.
all over again.
All right, so I'll let you guys hear that very first song, just so you get an idea of what it's going to sound like. Here you go. This is off of another album that I created. So check it out.
Oh, she got that church face and an OnlyFans pack. We ain't casting stones. Yes, I take y'all. Let's shout the facts, y'all. She's stepping bold with a story.
So you like that, huh? Play it again, Shizzy, one more time for the Ninja Puppy.
Welcome to the shit
Oh,
show.
yeah.
Every single day,
a new flavor of fuckery. Cause everybody sucks, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of twats. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
and then 4 more days of increasingly stupid,
Oh, man,
ridiculous,
it will be.
ignorant, vulgar,
You're going to find this song on Spotify. This isn't one of my songs.
all over again.
Thank you so much. Over early because I knew you'd be playing the new song. Yeah, listen to this. All right, here comes a new song.
She said, "Don't worry." She walks like sin in a summer dress. Eyes
There's
like
the first
warnings,
one.
You still say yes. That voice, sugar mixed with blade. She kissed your cheek and planned the fate.
Oh, yeah.
You call it charm, she calls it lunch. You fall for smiles, she packs a punch. The room don't spin, it's her design. You're not drunk, you're on her timeline.
This the setup. Lace and snare, she sways like heat, then disappears from tongue to trap. You dance too near. Now her name's all that you fear.
She didn't steal your heart, she broke in.
Yeah. She sucked you clean with a velvet lie, left hickey shape like goodbye. Fed you lines with lips on glide and posted pics with the next guy's ride. No mercy, baby, just flesh and game. She don't do lovers, just body names. You thought she came, but she just played, and you begged to stay.
Cha-cha-cha.
This the setup. Pulsing grin, she let you in just to lock you in. No
want
text
another
back,
song.
no morning light, just a smell of bruise and a ruined
She
night.
gave you nothing and took even more.
Now she's on the floor with a brand new face. Same damn lies, same slow pace. You ain't the first, you won't be last. She leaves records you call the past. And if you see her lips again, don't smile, just call it sin. Cause every time she bends that spine, some
Coca-Cola.
poor fool thinks she's a sign.
Yep, same name.
This the setup.
Capital S.
Hiding fake, she grinds like truth but leaves the ache. She don't dance, she devours the sound, and you're just another name she grounds.
She's not your type, she's your warning. She kissed you goodbye while looking over your shoulder. You were never hers, just her next story.
All right, now for the next one. Oh, yeah, this is for Ninja Puppy.
She said, "Let go." You heard. Let's lose everything. This ain't foreplay. This is premeditated seduction. She drives dropped to her knees like it meant release. But that mouth don't pray, it negotiates peace. Soft hand, sad voice, I'm not like the rest. But you ain't the first, she's undressed for a test. No beat behind her, just a candle glow. And your last clear thought starts to go. Each kiss a promise, each sigh a theft. She never moaned, she cross-examined your breath.
There you go. There's where it's at on Spotify. Thank you, Ninja Puppy.
Now she sways to the rhythm, hips on sync. You still think it's love, she's watching you sink. Said hold me tighter with the devil's tone, while reading your eyes, eating your bones. She don't cry, she simulates, with body rolls that litigate. That pulse you feel, not just desire, it's the beat of your name set on fire. Breath is bait. You thought this was fate, she calls it just wait. Sweat down your chest, her nails on spine. She hums a lie you can't decline. Whisper sweet while sinking hips, collecting text from your guilty lips. And just before the drop comes clean, she smirks like she's already the queen.
Oh, thank you, Star Z. This one's called Tonsil Deep and Trouble Bound.
This isn't a hookup, it's a heist and heel.
Tonsil deep and trouble bound. She took you low, now you can't rebound. Thought it was lust, it was plain assault. You gave her your heart, she read you your fall. She moves like fire, voice like glass. Her lies come tight and shaped to pass. No baby talk, just damage control. She's got you moaning inside a roll. And when she gasps and pulls you tight, know that grin ain't post-coital right. It's a trap disguised as touch and sound, one beat away from takedown ground. She said, you felt that? Yeah, so did the judge. Smile for discovery, darling.
Now, the next one is a little more interesting. So we'll just wait until that check comes in. But what we'll do in the meantime is, well, why don't we do an open letter? I think so. I think that's what we'll do. We'll do an open letter for you guys because you've been missing them. I know, I can feel the pain. You guys are just going, why don't I get my daily dose of open letters? Well, I have one for you tonight. So here it goes. You guys are going to enjoy this one. I hope you do. Well, I know that I will. Why is it showing up on the wrong one? Weird. Ah, that's why. There we go. I think I found it. So stupid.
It is about time. Let's break this mother down. With Shizzy, Wiz, Nut.
An open letter to the one who can't even get served right. Dear abstract concept of competence, it's always impressive when someone manages to fumble a procedural football so hard it rolls back into the parking lot, catches fire, and takes out the concession stand. Let's take a moment, just a brief moment, to marvel at the level of commitment it must take to confidently declare to a federal court, "I was never served," while simultaneously quoting from the very document you say you never received. That's not just a contradiction, that's performance art. It's giving "I lost the receipt" energy while holding it in your hand and using it as a coaster. Let me get this straight. You went live about the amended complaint, dissected it like a YouTube biologist with a scalpel and a ring light, referenced specific paragraphs that only exist in that amended version, then turned around and told the court, "Oopsie, I'll never serve that." You're either trolling the federal docket or auditioning for a reboot of America's Dumbest Motions. Now I know what you think. You're out here making legal history, and you are, in the same way someone makes history for being the first person to walk into a revolving door and get their ass stuck for an hour. Your motion to amend a motion is so procedurally confused, it should come with a trigger warning for anyone who's ever taken Civ Pro 101. And citing federal rules like it's some magical spell that gives you a do-over for getting caught in a lie. Well, that's bold. Not legally sound, but bold. Kind of like walking into a courtroom with a kazoo and announcing you're there to practice medicine. You can't amend your way out of a misrepresentation after you've been served, filmed the receipt, narrated it, and used it for clickbait. Even better, claiming you only got the original complaint when the very return of service proves otherwise, served at your house to someone living with you on the record from a licensed process server. But sure, let's just pretend the law doesn't apply when your memory gets foggy. Maybe next time try "I never heard of email" as a defense. It's just as effective and twice as entertaining. But wait, this does get better, because not only were you served, you also went on YouTube live to talk about the amended complaint, quoting it, naming who got added, and chuckling, or should I say cackling, through a breakdown like you were doing a commentary for a reality show. That live stream is timestamped, archived, and, well, not public, but it will be. Here's the thing. When a process server shows up and hands your household a summons, and that gets filed with an affidavit, timestamp, a description of a co-resident, and even the color of his hair, the whole "I wasn't served" routine just doesn't fall flat and hits the pavement like a soggy bag of discount fatback. Well, we're not done, no, because the same breath you claim total ignorance of this amended complaint, you were live streaming it. Not allegedly, not hypothetically, publicly on YouTube with timestamps. You described who got added. You mocked the new names. You laughed about the amended version. And then, in a dazzling display of selective stupidity, you filed a motion saying you'd never seen it. And here's a wild idea. Next time you're unsure which version of the complaint you were served, maybe don't go on a live stream mocking the new defendant that got added to it, because nothing says "I was never served" like a detailed breakdown of the complaint you claim never arrived. At this point, your filings need to come with a parental advisory, not for language, but for sheer secondhand showing how stupid you can be. Now, I'm not saying you did this on purpose. Maybe it was a paperwork mix-up. Maybe you accidentally watched your own live stream out of order. Maybe the dog ate your amended complaint and then posted about it on Facebook. There's so many perfectly plausible, totally unapprovable explanations, but none of them survive even the gentlest breeze of common sense. And I have to ask, did you think the court wouldn't check that Pacer has no peeking setting, or that somehow you hit go live, you stepped into a parallel dimension where facts are optional and logic takes a smoke break? In a world full of bad legal takes, this one doesn't even qualify as lukewarm. It's an ice-cold nothing burger served with a side of YouTube receipts. So while you think you're waging some grand procedural battle, and what you're really doing is auditioning for the next season of America's Most Delusional Filings, brought to you by Shizzy Wisnut, don't let that stop you. Keep quoting the rules wrong. Keep filing with flair. Keep pretending that live streams don't count and affidavits are optional, because every time you do, the rest of us get a little reminder of just why the court keeps receipts, why procedural comedy is the purest form of justice. So here's to you, the legal equivalent of reply all disaster in human form. May your motions rest in procedural purgatory where they belong, right next to the expired printer ink in the original version of your credibility. Warm regards, Papa Nut. Still wearing Velcro shoes, but somehow reading the rules better than you. CEO of Oops, That's Not How Any of this works. And most definitely, you're dead and always in your head.
It is about time. Let's break this mother down. With Shizzy, Wiz, Nut.
Gosh, maybe not been out doing real life 3D things. Well, me too. I've been busy, and this next couple of weeks is gonna be insanely busy. I've got so much to do, and oh geez. So Friday, normally I would do Fridays with Mo, but the only problem is I have a big meeting that I have to go show up to tomorrow morning. It's going to be glorious. So, and that's going to take up most of my morning on Friday. So I won't be doing anything with Mo in the morning, which I normally would on Fridays, but I'm not able to this Friday. I've got too many salty worms. That does happen. It does happen. No, this so yeah, I'm going to be well, hopefully I'll be around for FNL on Friday. We'll see how it works out. But yeah, so I do have that. And then the following week is going to be like a really short work for me because I've got to go incognito for something really important. And so I'll be disappearing for a little bit, but it's gonna be so worth it. I'm gonna enjoy this part of next week. So yeah, the next week is going to be just insane. I've got a lot of stuff going on the end of this week and the end of next week. So keep an eye out. And the refinishing of the furniture, well, hopefully I can finish it today. Well, not today, but this weekend. I hope I can finish that. It depends on how this meeting goes tomorrow morning. So we'll see. I might be able to get to it on Friday. Depends on if we have any rain. If we have rain, that's going to put a cramp in everything. So I hope you're looking for it. We'll get on the ball and get it together, in my opinion. I hope so too. Standard operating procedure. Well, physically, just burn out emotionally. Caregiving is hard. Oh yeah, my aunt did that also. Maybe not. I'm with you on that. That is always going to be rough. That definitely is. And also, Emma Washington, thank you so much for the $2 super chat.
Squeeze my heart.
I love it. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. And I hope that you're doing very well because, you know, it is a crazy world out there. And it's about to get crazier. Just saying. Yes. Thank you, Emma Washington. I appreciate you. Now we'll get to some of those other super chats. And like I said earlier on, once we had like the $5, so we're in two for two, so another 3, and that hits a new song, and we'll play those as we go along. And I think I have enough of them. So we'll see. It'll be good. If you were here the other night, you got a chance to hear all of those. That's what I was working on last night. I was exhausted after a long day, which ties into this weekend, this Friday. Oh my gosh, maybe not once, 2 of them. And then, Tracy, so this is 3 songs we're going to be doing back to back. Can you guys handle 3 songs back to back? We haven't even gotten into the trial yet. You know, we got it's not a trial, it's actually a hearing. It's in Scottsdale. But we'll get the music. So give me a second and I can see. This is the one we're going to be going over tonight right here. And we're gonna get these gifted memberships, but before we do that, we've got to give you the shit show song. Right?
Welcome to the shit show.
Oh yes, every single day, a new flavor of fuckery, 'cause everybody sucks, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of twats. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
And then
4 more days.
of increasingly stupid, ridiculous,
ignorant, bolder, dash, poppycock, bollocks, and fuckery. Oh, there's one of them. Let's get the other one there. Yes, and yes, we got you. And oh my gosh, you know what I forgot to do? Because I generally do forget to do this, because I always get one of these. Not always, but I often get one of these. And this one is from, let's see, from the lovely Debbie Baker. She was so kind. Thank you so much for the wonderful $10 super chat, and that was so kind of you, and that is wonderful. Thank you so much. And that was from this morning. I appreciate you. I really do. I guess I'll try and follow the case just for the shites and giggles. Oh, it's definitely, there's tons of them. And these songs sort of tie right in there. But let's go ahead and get these 3 songs for you guys, because it's going to be good. I'm just saying that this next one is going to be quite wonderful. So give me just a second. And it's called Pregnancy Pending, Processing Denied.
She said I'm pregnant. He said from what? Welcome to the baby that never was. She said I'm late, but the test was fake. Bought 2 pink lines from a clickbait snake. Swore it was his with a baby voice, but that uterus echo just background noise. She don't ovulate, she orchestrate those BJs like they inseminate. Played mommy mode with a dirty smile. Filed a claim and danced in denial. Pregnancy pending, test strip lies. She swallowed the truth, then testified. Processing failed, womb says no, but her jaw still put him on the fertile show. Low denied, she choked the data. The data. She choked the data. Said I feel kicks, but that was burrito. Cramped up lies in a cheap tuxedo. Posted the ultrasound with no date. Girl, that's a kidney, not first trimester fate. Trapped him quick in a baby scheme. Moan daddy loud in a cashback dream. No fetus, no proof, just moans on file. And a timestamp nut from her OnlyFans trial.
Baby and me. Oops, already did. You believe me, right? Say hi to your child support.
Pregnancy pending, her DM's on fire. Said she's due, but the test expired. Processing, a row found girl got not and I'm knocked up down. Voicemail hell, turns out Dr. Smith don't even spell that belly bump. Just carbs and plot and a paternity lie. She screen capped hot, she cries on cam, then twerks off cue. No kid, no heart, rich scams and loop. She ain't late, she's early to fraud, pleading pregnancy like she's praying to God. She said I'm keeping it. There's nothing to keep except her browser history. Baby, tonight's story, exposed face, still filtered.
All right, and we do I see that somebody has a birthday there, so let's give you a little bit of birthday cheer right now. Oh yeah. Oh my. A happy birthday to you. You're welcome, Lisa.
Happy birthday
To you. A happy birthday. It is your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. I appreciate you. All right, let's get to the next one here because that was one. We still have two more to go on that one.
She said, don't make me beg, baby, she lives to beg. In the positions and bedrooms, let the record reflect. This is all for play. Red nails, long file, breath on glass. She said, read me my rights, then showed some ass. Her love is a contract sealed with moans, then notarized under your broken bones. She don't need roses, just receipts. She purrs in court and prowls the sheets. You thought it was lust, but it's legal war, and she's grinding that motion across your floor. Please me, baby, one more time. Stroke the lie in a courtroom rhyme. She don't kiss, she cross-examines with hips that file and eyes that damn it.
Objection denied. She's the whole damn trial.
She wore that slip like she wore intent, with throat that moaned and a pass well bent. Said I'll be good then, bit your claim, and whispered your rights like a dirty name. No safe words, just restraining orders and silk-tied lies on county borders. She twerks in briefs, she files in lace, and every cry is a closed case face.
Hey, Welsh lady.
Plead it again, Poppy. Slow this time.
This evidence makes me wet with power.
Take the stand or take me now. Same outcome either way, sugar.
Leave me, baby, like a final appeal. Touch the trauma that don't quite heal. She fake cries truth in a tango spin and sucks the soul from your next of kin.
The jury's not out. They're just aroused.
You bought the tears, now pay the fees. She wraps her pain in courtroom tease. No filter needed when the lighting's dim. She'll plead insanity and ride your limb. Called it a fling, then claimed abuse. Filed Exhibit A with a bedroom news. And when she gasped, that's not desire, it's your career going up in fire.
She said no one ever listens. But now, the state's listening very closely. Court adjourned, her legs stayed open.
That one was called Plead Me Baby One More Time. And the next one is nothing like that, just so you guys know. Oh my God. This next one is going to, I'm not sure because I did two versions of this. So we'll probably play them both, but not back to back. Oh my God.
Court's in session. Grab your Kleenex and burner phones. She don't date, she scouts her prey. Soft voice, sad eyes, I don't do gray. Told him I'm what a little different
Hey,
way.
Witch.
Then downloaded his past like a legal raid. That sweet act came pre-approved with buzzwords, triggers, and trauma grooves. Neurodivergent, but only when sued. Otherwise, she's naked and lawyered and rude. She a court-certified catfish, weapon-grade charm, crying autism with a man on her and when it's time to deflect, then cashing them out with zero regret.
Bless his heart, he Googled the diagnosis.
She tell you I'm masked and switch the role from cuddle queen to a blackmail scroll. Said be patient, I stem and spin, then spun his assets like a Vegas win. Filed fake pain with filtered pics, cried gaslight with a mouthful of tricks. He thought she needed care and light, she needed his wallet and his legal rights.
She said she was on the spectrum.
Turns out it's illegal, Lou.
She's STEM on court settlements.
That ain't neurodivergence, that's manipulation with a flavor profile.
She a court-certified catfish, neuro-coded twist, cries executive dysfunction, then checks the griff list. She don't need grace, she needs the game, playing diagnosis for the fortune and fame.
And every man's left diagnosed with regret.
She don't ghost, she vanishes with receipts, turns every breakup into courtroom tweets. Says she's misunderstood in court-approved tone, while ruining lives from a trauma thrown. From bed to bench, she fakes the fall, then files a claim with a syrupy drawl. And if you call her out, prepare to drown, she'll scream ableist while taking you down.
Said accept me as I am, but she forced who that was. Her trauma is your invoice. Final ruling, emotion fit. Fiscally gifted.
Such a Oh, you know what? You know what? That was so much fun. But he's missing these things in that. Oh, yeah. I have to keep it toned down just a little bit. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right, let's get on with this. Oh, and there's more. Trust me, there's more songs. Cha-cha, gargle, gulp. So true. Oh, this it's killing me.
Morning, Your Honor. Corey Keith appearing on behalf of Petitioner Laura Owens. Myself and client are both present, appearing in person.
Good morning to you both, and from the respondent.
Good morning, Judge. Greg Woodnick. I've got Clayton Echard with me, and my associate Isabel Ranny is behind me.
Good morning to all three of you. All right, this is the time set for status conference. As the parties both know, a motion to continue was filed. Mr. Woodnick.
Beth M. What was it? True, but he is missing huge things in that. I don't know. Is there that's not a question. It just says you're. Oh, okay. Okay. There you go. I have been watching Shizzy since he started covering. It's missing his usual open letters. Oh, but you have to rewind. I did have a beautiful open letter at the very beginning of the stream. Very beginning of the stream, there was a wonderful open letter. It's good. It's good. Now, on these right here, I probably won't do an open letter on the actual hearing itself, just because there's so much to unpack inside the hearing. It's much easier to do the open letters whenever you've got the written word, because you can sort of disseminate a lot of what is being said. With this, there's so many different layers that I would have like 10 different kinds of things. No, I haven't. I'm covering very, very small portions of it. So no, I haven't stopped covering the hails. I'm just covering small portions of it. And whenever there's a some good pleadings that come out, I'm going to go back and cover those. There's just too much weight being given to certain people, and I don't. There's no use. I think it's being a little overcovered. So no, I haven't stopped covering it. I'm just, like I said, stepping back and want to cover some other things also. So no, I haven't stopped, Beth. A lot of people think so. No. They might think that, but no. See my open letter. I'm not backing off from them. I'm just, she's not worth the time. Does that make sense? So if you're worried about the lips thing, don't really care. She's just not worth the time. It's like watching a train wreck. They're destroying themselves, and I don't have any time for them. If that makes sense. Doozy one today. Yes, it was a good one. A hippie witch LO says she's pregnant with tonsil twins because all the CE got was blowy. Yes.
That was your motion, so I'll allow you to go first.
Judge, thank you. As the court is aware from the meetings, we have zero disclosure. I don't think zero is an understatement. I did speak with counsel in the hallway. He indicated that disclosure was forthcoming, maybe as soon as later this week. I'll believe it when I see it, but in any event, we are not prepared to go to trial next week on any of the remaining issues because we have nothing. I'm asking the court to reset the trial for 45, 60 days, whatever the court's availability is, and I'm asking the court to give us 2 hours. Petitioner invoked Rule 2. I'm stuck with it, and I intend to present a case that has foundation for evidence, and her deposition, I think, is scheduled for March 1st if she appears. As Your Honor is aware, petitioner failed to appear at her first deposition setting without leave of court. So I've got to deal with that as well. So we're asking the court just to reset the trial in a couple of months, and hopefully beginning today, there's discovery compliance. And the issues of attorney's fees and sanctions, I think, have to abide trial. And I think that's where we are from our perspective.
Okay, and what time on March 1st, counsel?
Great question, Judge.
8 a.m.
8 a.m.
this morning.
My office.
All right, counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, we're not opposing the motion to continue the trial. We're in agreement with the need for the continuance on the trial. I did want to address, we received the ruling regarding our motion for confidentiality this morning. There has been new evidence
thank you,
threats to my client's life that were made to her on Facebook since the pleading practice regarding the motion practice regarding that motion for confidentiality. So I did want to have the opportunity to address that with the court, assuming that the court's position still remains the same with regards to that motion. I did indicate to Mr. Woodnick we will have discovery forthcoming by the end of the week with relation to my client's pregnancy records. Discovery has been requested far outside of the scope of what I believe is appropriate, and so I was hoping to be able to address that with the court as well today.
Okay. All right. So we'll deal with the motion to continue first, then we'll deal with re-urging on the confidentiality and the discovery.
Yes, sir.
Any final thoughts, Mr. Woodnick?
No, I certainly have argument on all of the confidentiality issues, and I think Your Honor ruled on it, but I'll save those for later this morning.
All right. All right. The court will grant the motion to continue. The court is going to vacate the hearing. I believe we have set for the 27th. Yes, we're going to vacate the evidentiary hearing set February 27th at 4 p.m. The court will grant the request to extend the hearing time to 2 hours. I wish I could accommodate 45 to 60 days. We're setting out much further than that, which I apologize for. But Layla, what's our first available 2-hour setting?
It's going to be June 10th.
This is all full size. It won't zoom any bigger than that. It's the way that it was recorded. And by the way, this came in from Schnitzel Ninja. Go check her out. Her link is in the description of the stream. So you can, if you look on the description, you'll see a description, and you can click on Schnitzel Ninja, and she has a wonderful channel. She's got a bunch of videos on there. So if you're wanting to get caught up on it, that's definitely the place to go check it out. This is refreshing. No drama. Good evening, Chad. Yes, Chucky. No drama. We're stepping away from the drama. It's just, there's too much of it there.
Your Honor, at 8:45.
All right, everyone check your calendar and see if that works. That would be in person again.
And to confirm, that was 8:45 a.m.?
Yes.
I do that because I generally meet with counsel back in chambers for the first 15 minutes, but I don't want that to interrupt any testimony time. So that's why I said it then.
Understood. And that date and time works for me, Your Honor.
All right. Does that work for you, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. Counsel?
Make it work, Judge.
Sarah, does that work for you?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we'll set that then for June 10th at 8:45. Now, with regards to the re-urging of the confidentiality motion, counsel?
Your Honor, my client received Facebook messages on February 7th. Prefer not to read them out loud. I did show them to opposing counsel. I'm happy to show them to Your Honor as well. The conduct has just gotten increasingly more concerning from the public. There almost appears to be some sort of obsession with this case. And I think my client, rightfully so, has been nervous to participate in things like the deposition or, giving up her privileged medical records because of this increasingly concerning conduct. Your Honor, can I approach?
Sure. Mr. Woodnick, you've seen these?
Sure.
Your Honor, I know that our reply mentioned voicemails and things of that nature that my client had received. Nothing directly threatening her life at that point, but obviously after the motions.
Well, that's the screwed up part about it. Is because she's threatened her own life, and that's why the police showed up to her place, because she was talking about a little bit of self-deletion, and that got the police involved, because whenever you start doing those kinds of things, the police are going to show up to do a welfare check and make sure that you're okay. 7 felonies. Absolutely. That is correct. 7 felonies. Lying to the court, because that's the thing. You cannot lie under perjury, because there will be consequences for those kinds of things. That's what happens. You lie under perjury, boom, they can come after you for criminal prosecution. But yeah, it's 7. I'm under a rock following other things the same way here. That does happen. But they got you right. Rosilla is correct on that, and so is maybe not. It is 7 felonies that she's got under her belt right now. Or him. I don't know. I can't really tell. Nothing has been added yet, but I think there will be at least 3 more charges. Well, that may happen, or they may drop certain charges. Though this is what happens in court cases a lot of times. Sometimes they people will come forward, they'll plead to a lesser charge, things like that. So if they'll drop certain things. I mean, the chances of her she could spend a lot of time in jail for the shenanigans, but there's also a possibility that they may say, well, there's no need in keeping you in here. Lie under perjury. Yeah. That'll happen. Perjuring yourself is what's happening. That's what gets you under aggravated circumstances. Yeah. I mean, like I said, you won't know until they actually sit down in court. I mean, there's a possibility this may not even go to trial, because she could plead guilty to them or take a plea bargain or any number of things. You never know what's going to happen with anything until it does. I mean, look at Kohberger. It's a perfect example. Everybody has been watching this really closely. And you had people saying, well, he's not guilty and there's no way he could have done it. And, making excuses and all kinds of things for behaviors and things that he was doing. And then, as it gets closer to that trial date, to avoid the death penalty, which most likely could have happened in this case, he pleaded guilty, and now he's doing life going to be doing life in prison. And that, that provides some closure for some of the families, and others it's, they really want to have it out because they don't understand the why behind it. And that's what they want. They're looking for those answers that they couldn't get. I do not think she'll plead guilty. She's too full of herself for that. Or she's full of something, that's for sure. 7 felonies under. Stop it, Brazil.
And in reply were filed, we started to receive these messages. And so she's just concerned that things are going to continue to progress.
Well, and you know, that's the thing. This is a fun way of putting some music together and having some fun. And I can put music together pretty quick with this. Also, I don't have thousands of, we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars to get the kind of production quality, and hiring people out to do the music and things like that. So it makes it easier to be able to throw something together in a matter of minutes. It's not perfect because, you know, I would much be able to prefer to, you know, do certain little intricacies that you can only do as a musician. So as far as AI taking over musicians, I don't see it happening. I would much rather be playing aggravating circumstances like catching line. Yeah, that could be it. But yeah, I mean, it's really good to have something like that, and it helps keep the creative juices flowing, especially whenever you're looking to do something in particular. But as far as live music goes, nothing beats it. Nothing beats, you know, really good musicians. I heard that some of the evidence that's been found on e-devices lead to cases or events that cross state lines, with her calling FBI. This could go federal. It could. I mean, if that's the case, this has to go to trial. I need it to go to trial. A lot of people want that. You're a musician, have a trained ear. You can put out music a lot faster than a layman, even using AI. Yeah, because I know how to talk to it and get it to do what I want it to do. As far as like getting different styles of music put together, and making it work. I can hear those kinds of things a little quicker.
And Your Honor, I'll just note as well, the person who's referenced underneath the comment that was made is my client's mother. And then I think they're trying to send over her identifying information as well, some sort of insinuation that they know where she lives and things of that nature.
Thank you.
What, you're not supposed to do that? That's illegal, right? Oh my gosh. 15 months and no 4th of July birthday song?
Counsel, I'll let you come and read those.
You didn't get a 15 months, no 4th of July birthday song? Well, how about this?
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Welsh lady.
Happy birthday, it is your day. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. It was Wellesley's birthday, the same day that our country was founded, except about 250 years, 60 years later. She's like 20 years old, guys. My your 5-year anniversary. Well, I will tell you what. How about we do this? We'll give you a special version of that song for your 5-year anniversary and for Wesley's birthday. How's that? I'll give you the special court certified catfish just for you guys. How's that? Yeah. I think it'll fit in, seeing that you guys are just awesome like that. All right, let's do this.
She not only faked the pregnancy, she faked the whole personality. Courts in session, grab your Kleenex and burn 'em. She don't date, she scouts her prey. Soft voice, sad eyes, I don't do great. Told him I wired a little different, babe. Then downloaded his pass like a legal raid. That suite that came pre-approved with buzzwords, triggers, and trauma grooves. Neurodivergent, but only when sued. Otherwise, she's naked in Lloyd's and rude. She a court-certified catfish, weapon grade charm. Crying autism with a man on her arm. Neuroflexing when it's time to deflect and cashing him out with zero regret.
Bless his heart, he Googled the diagnosis.
She'd tell you I masked and switched the role from cuddle queen to a blackmail scroll. Said be patient, I stim and spin. Then spun his assets like a Vegas win. Filed fake pain with filtered pics. Cried gaslight with a mouthful of tricks. He thought she needed care and light. She needed his wallet and his legal rights. She said she was on the spectrum. Turns out, it's a legal look. She's STEM on court settlements. That ain't neurodivergent. That's manipulation with a flavor profile. She a court-certified catfish, neuro-coded twist. Tries executive dysfunction, then checks the grift list. She don't need grace, she needs a game. Playing diagnosis for the fortune and fame. And every man's left diagnosed with regret. She don't ghost, she vanishes with receipts. Turns every breakup in a courtroom tweet. Says she's misunderstood in court-approved tone while ruining lives from a trauma throne. From bed to bench, she fakes the fall, then files a claim with a syrupy drawn. If you call her out, prepare to drown, she'll scream ableist while taking you down. She said, accept me as I am, but she forged who that was. Her trauma is your invoice. Final ruling, emotionally and fiscally gifted.
Well, here in South America, birthdays are common with a DJ and concert speakers, but there are more than 40-piece orchestras coming to birthdays around here. I love that. Ballroom dance at all, Shizzy? No, not a bit. I can't dance worth a damn. I have two left feet. I can't dance. Plus, I don't know if my knees can handle it anymore. Too much time spent on my knees. If you know, you know. Just say, oh God. All right. Till 7 a.m. It's fun. Oh yeah, Chucky, that is awesome. All right, let's get back to this hearing.
Counsel response?
Judge, a couple of things. Number one, in correspondence to Mr. Keith, I asked for some of the foundational information from that. Whoever wrote what they wrote on that allegedly to Miss Owens is not my client. He didn't do it. He's not.
Yeah, and that this is the point that a lot of people don't understand. Just because somebody is doing something, this is his client. This is the person that you should be dealing with right here. Did he write this to her? No. It could have been this judge for all we know. She could have written it to her. You know, I don't think she would, but you know, or she could have written it to herself. Now, oh, excellent! I love it. I'm glad that you enjoy the music, Roberta. That is beautiful. It is. They call her Cuban cutie. She swallows more semen in minutes with a gag slurpy slurp. That's a bad result. Oh, but yes. So this is all that I'm saying is, you know, whenever people try to associate what another person's actions are with what somebody else is doing, it's always going to go down in flames, especially in a court.
Involved in it. So I appreciate that that's not the suggestion here. Whoever wrote that, it's inappropriate, but certainly not a reason to enter confidentiality orders or any sort of sealing, which I assume is going to be Mother's next in the court, that these are both public figures. And I think that the First Amendment doesn't.
Anyone who might be mind, please mute your phone or your tablet. Go ahead, counsel.
Oh, yeah.
These are both. Yeah. My ADD does not do well with those noises. Thank you. Judge, these are public people. My client wasn't behind whatever that text was. Frankly, there's a level of incredulity regarding that. I'm not so sure that text is actually real, and it wasn't generated to create an argument to seal or for the confidentiality issue. I can tell Your Honor that we're going to treat Ms. Owens like them. In this case, it's now 7 months along, as we are supposed to, pursuant to the rules. Just like I'm going to treat her as we're supposed to when I depose her in 2 weeks. But I certainly don't think that some random Bachelor fan maybe put a really inappropriate text to Miss Owens maybe is a warrant for the court to do anything other than remind everyone to act professionally, which has always been my intention.
Thank you. Final thoughts?
No, this would have been in February 21st of 2024. So we were well out of that. No, it wasn't a pandemic trial. Or tail end of the pandemic. These dial-ins during the court are so annoying. No, the reason that you're getting those is because there's a lot of people. You can teach me how to dance. Well, thank you, Brenda. Appreciate it. You probably could. I mean, if I can get my feet to not stumble over each other. Large feet, you just always trip over them. But yeah, so there was a lot of interest in this case. Not only did you have a lot of Clayton Echard supporters, but you also had if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong on this, but you had a lot of Laura Owens supporters also. So in the midst of all of this, you had a lot of people that were interested in hearing what was going on with the trial. They wanted to be dialed in. They wanted to hear what was being said. So you had people jumping in and jumping out. But yeah, loved it. Thanks. No problem. No problem.
All right. Agree with Mr. Woodnick in part. This isn't his client, in my opinion, that's making these statements. However, when you couple the statements that are being made that appear to be getting progressively worse with the instances that were cited in our reply, the civil welfare checks that were sent to her home, the calls to her personal cell phone.
Now, the reason she got people coming to her home and those welfare checks were coming is because she got online and started talking about self-deletion. That is something that you don't do because people worry about you and they want to make sure that you're okay. It's incredibly insane.
When you couple all of these things together and look at the fact that they're getting progressively worse, and my client is now being essentially compelled to produce documents pertaining to her medical history, we don't anticipate this getting better, Your Honor. And my concern is that as this continues to get worse, we start to continue to talk about the safety of the parties involved. I understand that we're talking about public figures to an extent. My client has taken a significant step back. I don't know if, in my opinion, I would classify her as a public figure. She maybe is making statements now to try to defend herself and defend her name. But, Your Honor, my concern is that if this...
Well, see, that was the thing. She didn't. She stepped out front. That's what happens whenever you step out front. And that's what she did, is she stepped out front and she started making these accusations. And it wasn't the first time it's happened. And in the process of doing that, the amount of claims that came out about this, it is, he's doing everything that he can to defend himself in this. But she's the one that brought these problems to him. Whatever her reasoning was behind it, the Fiverr baby, exactly, Rosella. So this right here was something that, she brought upon herself. It's an unavoidable consequence of being, being out there. She can't handle the criticism. Well, and the thing is, the level of crap that she pulled on him and on other people. I mean, getting protective orders against an ex, contacting his place of business, getting him, where it's made it almost impossible, not for Echard, but for a prior one. I think it was Maricini and Gillespie. Like they had big problems. Even to this day, they still have problems because of her shenanigans, because she wanted to do things that were inappropriate, act inappropriately. So she got caught lying, decided to double down. Sounds familiar. Yeah, it happens.
Continues to worsen. And like I stated in my response, we don't know what state it's going to get to. We also have witnesses that are afraid to come forward to testify on my client's behalf because they're afraid of what's happening to my client and her family. And so for those reasons, we believe that it's worth at least requesting that the court reconsider the ruling on the motion for confidentiality.
Exactly.
Thank you. Okay, the motion to reconsider is denied. However, we will have the minute entry reflect that Arizona, it's ARS Supreme Court ruling 122 is in effect, meaning all media requests must be through the Maricopa County Superior Court. There are statutory requirements that include using audio only for witnesses, fuzzying people's face out, things like that could give some assurances of either anonymity or whatever else may become an issue. I agree the court has absolutely no control over what people post online. Yep. It is absolutely inappropriate to threaten people generally. So the court doesn't condone that behavior. However, I don't think at this point it rises to the level of designating anything confidential. So I'm going to affirm my prior ruling on that, recognizing that there may be evidence presented at trial that will require certain exhibits be deemed confidential because of their medical nature or addresses or other things. So the parties need to be prepared to tell me which exhibits at trial need to be designated as confidential, and I'm more than happy to do that. Now, counsel, you also said there was an issue with discovery.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, my client understands the court likely in need, based on the recent ruling, for her to disclose things like her medical records pertaining to the pregnancy. It's been mentioned in the pleadings that opposing counsel has requested that she sign HIPAA releases. Opposing counsel has also sent requests for production of documents. Those HIPAA releases request 5 years of her medical records. Under the recent Como ruling back in 2022, we don't believe that that's appropriate. We believe and are asking the court to order that while she should comply with requests for her medical records, it should be pertaining to the pregnancy, the only issue that's outstanding in this case. And on that note, Your Honor, there were two rulings on my client's previous motion to dismiss, one which granted in part and left open the issues of attorney's fees and sanctions, and one which I received yesterday, which just outright denied the motion. And so I just wanted to make sure that we were still only talking about attorney's fees and sanctions. And if that is the case, I believe that my client's medical history pertaining to whether or not she was pregnant in this matter is what would be appropriate and relevant for the court to have testimony on at the upcoming trial.
Okay, before I get to you, counsel, and then obviously you'll have final thoughts to go back to that, the court's intention was to deny the motion to dismiss at this time. So that's the ruling that stands. Mr. Woodman?
Judge, I appreciate the Como decision, and I appreciate Mr. Keith's argument. The problem is the nexus of our Rule 26 issue, which is that the entire action was filed in bad faith, is not a fishing expedition under Como. Como was designed to stop parties from fishing expeditions. That's not it. We are looking very specifically for the mental health and medical records that would explain why someone would fabricate a pregnancy, why someone would appear in court in front of Judge Gail Ketsis with a 24-week abdomen, tell Judge Gail Ketsis that they were pregnant, and then magically the babies are gone. And I think in order for us to do that, we have a right to get the relevant mental health records and the relevant medical records. And I also remind the court that that does include the fact, as we've pled here, that there's a history of the fabricating behavior. That's actually the nexus of our Rule 26 motion. For Rule 26, which, to make a clear record, is really Arizona Family Court adopting Rule 11, Civil Rule 11, not Mental Health Rule 11, but Civil Rule 11. And it addresses the propriety of filings and the propriety of signing filings. Filings that were signed by Ms. Owens directly. And she filed them, and then she filed multiple filings after that. And every single one of those filings made claims and assertions that this court has an absolute authority over. In order for us to defend or produce an argument regarding Rule 26, we need to have those records. We will treat them appropriately. They are not going to be publicly shared for that we have any intention of doing at this point, but it's going to be part of a very public proceeding because Miss Owens, as recently as 4 days ago or 3 days ago, published an article about these very issues. She's the one who went to the Sun tabloid claiming not just that she was pregnant by Mr. Echard, Judge, but that she was pregnant with twins and posted a visual of the twins that she was pregnant with. We have a right to all of the discovery relevant to that for the attorney's fees issue, for the sanctions issue, and for the integrity of Title 25 and the mud that Mr. Echard's been dragged through. I'm not interested in her childhood trauma. That's not relevant here. I totally agree with that. But Rule 49 does specifically say we're entitled to 5 years of back records. And I think...
Say Rule 26 one more time, motherfucker. No, that is, I don't think that it could be her, but I don't think that it is. If she was pregnant, I was declared to be the next Pope. Hey, Pope, how you doing? Good to see you, Pope Realm. Good to see you. No, there was a couple of people. It might have been her. That is a big possibility that Megan was there for this to report on it. I know that would be a heck of a trip for her to do. I know that she did go there for the trial. She was there for the trial. There was actually quite a few people there for that. The Glory Hole song. No, we're not doing that one.
I think asking them to be produced is reasonable. I also remind the court as my final comment, they've provided nothing. When I say nothing, Judge, I mean no medical records, no financial record. I mean nothing. Even the stuff that is not even controversial, like legal fees, zero disclosure. So to come to court today and say, oh no, we want to rein in the disclosure is a little bit disingenuous. They should have been providing records along the way because that's what Rule 49 required.
Thank you, counsel. Do you recollect when the first filing was that would necessitate records back that far?
Yes, it would be 2021 February.
August 2021.
Jeez. August of 2021.
Okay. Final thoughts, counsel?
Your Honor, just to be clear, discovery has been transmitted, albeit minimally, because my client has been afraid of the backlash that would occur. Oh, yeah. My client did send Mr. Echard confirmation that she was pregnant. She sent him over the results of her blood testing. She has sent him over documents. I believe that the evidence will show that she was pregnant. I believe that will be clear once everything is presented to the court. And I don't believe that it would be appropriate for her to have to disclose records dating back to January 1st of 2018, as the respondent is requesting, addressing her anger management, substance abuse, domestic violence, and additional things. This is a fishing expedition. This is what's covered under COMO. The difference is we don't even have this situation under COMO, Your Honor. We have a situation where there is no child. There are no best interests of a child to be considered. We have a situation where the respondent is on a fishing expedition. He's trying to pull things in and twist stories of previous incidents against my client to make it seem like she's fabricating these allegations. When the reality is, and like I said, I believe the evidence will show this, my client was pregnant. She did have a miscarriage. She's no longer pregnant. And I believe that the evidence will show that. And so for those reasons, we're asking the court not to allow this fishing expedition. They're requesting documents.
That's not a fishing expedition. She's claiming something, and they're wanting to have proof of her claims. And as you found out in trial, that, well, it didn't work out so damn well for her, did it? Because she backtracked on every single thing, because when she started trying to show this proof, come to find out there wasn't the proof that she was claiming that there was. And this happens quite often in court cases whenever you've got somebody that starts some crap that should have never been started. And this is what's happening to her. You know, now she's looking at jail time.
dating back to January of 2018. This is absolutely should be covered under COMO, and I believe that the court should actually look at this even further because, like I said, there are no best interests here to evaluate to overrule my client's medical patient privilege.
Yeah, there is.
I understand that my client has an obligation to prove her pregnancy, and I think that it's in her best interest to do so as well. But to allow the respondent to go back 5 years into her domestic violence history, her substance abuse history, and obviously assuming that there even is any, it's just absolutely inappropriate. And this is a fishing expedition. Thank you.
You said your client did provide limited disclosure. Did that include evidence of the miscarriage?
No, Your Honor. The miscarriage came further throughout this case, and the records that outline the miscarriage and her going to the doctor after the miscarriage have not yet been sent.
And when are the...
Because they don't have them. Because she never went to the doctor for that reason, and they were never her tonsil babies. This is the whole reason. You know, this attorney is trying to make a case saying, well, we don't have that information yet, and I'm pretty sure that Woodnick is going to go off on this right here because, you know, something that you have, and like I said, I'm not a medical provider, doctor, or lawyer, or anything smart. I'm like not even medium smart. Megan's at least medium smart. I'm an artard that wears a shiny helmet, you know, whenever I read stories. The thing is if you have a miscarriage as late as she did, there's a reason why a doctor will step in and they will do, like, I can't remember what all is involved in it, but there's a lot more reason why you would be going to a doctor, because at that point, really bad things can happen to you. She could have had a leak from her esophagus bypass to the stomach acids that would lead directly to the fallopian tube. That is always a possibility. You know, I don't know. I'm not a biologist, so I can't confirm that. Yes, Megan is the best. She would need it. That's right. DNC. Thank you. So I knew somebody would know it that's smarter than me.
Well,
Your Honor, all of my client's medical records pertaining to the pregnancy will be sent to the respondent by the end of the week. I do have them. We were just waiting on ruling on the motion for confidentiality because we have concerns that by next week they'll be released to the public.
how would they be released to the public, counsel, if they're just exchanged between counsel?
Well, Your Honor, I believe that they would also be sent to the respondent, and I can tell the court that even my own emails to opposing counsel have been, in this case, released to the public. I'm not insinuating that is Mr. Woodnick. I understand he has an obligation to share the documents with his client, but the reality here is documents that are being transmitted, pleadings that are being filed, emails that are being sent between the parties are being released to the public.
It's basically a letter, and I could be wrong on this. A letter of candor would be basically saying, hey, you know, don't spread this, you know, beyond this particular email. That would be something that you would be saying, you know, it would be something I believe between two attorneys. Maybe filed a notice of candor later. Okay. That's a possibility.
Public in a manner of hours, not even days. Certainly prior to someone's ability to pull pleadings online. Also, of note, those pleadings that are being released to the public are being released in color. I believe it's common knowledge that when you go down to the courthouse and request documents, those documents come back in black and white. So it's clear to me that there's some sort of a leak to the public. It's why we filed our motion for confidentiality, and I don't believe it's appropriate for my client.
Yeah, that's what it means right there. Thank you. It means that her turn. Let's see. Henria is hitting it right here. No, it means he knew she lied. That's what the letter of candor means. Thank you. Thank you for clearing that up. I didn't know that. I believe that the judge makes Laura Owens sign the HIPAA releases. Well, and you know, that's the thing. She can release those. She doesn't have to, but she does release them. Emma Washington, she's coming in with wanting a new song here. All she had to do was accept Clayton's non-interest in a relationship. Instead, now she's potentially going to spend a lot of time in jail. Yeah, all she had to do was not spread those lies about him, and that right there And he covered his, but with the notice of candor. Yes. Awesome. Thank you. And also third trimester would need a death certificate. Thank you. Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's correct. Ultrasound is normally the first thing you do after testing positive on a stick to confirm. Right. That would be the next step. I mean, you can also do like a blood test, but yeah, you would definitely want to do an ultrasound at some point in time. I know at certain points you might not notice anything, or it could show up as a tumor or something like that. Well, pretty funny. But last I heard, there was a whole lot of tubes and such to get from there to the fallopian tubes. Yeah, there could be. Emma Washington, you've gotten us another song. And this one is going to be Tongue Like Testimony. Tongue Like Testimony. I think that's right. Is that right? Or did I get that? Nope. It is Filtered Lies and Forged Files. So here it comes just for you. Let's get it. This is where we get the little bit of gospel feeling in you. So raise your hands, put it together for Emma Washington giving us that $5 super chat, getting us a new song.
She got that church face and an OnlyFans pack. We ain't casting stones. Let's not take y'all. Let's shout the facts, y'all. She's stepping bold with a story. Her said she healing, but only in bursts. Caption the trauma in full face beat while the facts got lost in the gospel heat. She raised her hands like she catching grace, but we saw them files and none had a case. She don't repent, she rebrands y'all and turns her sin into a Sunday call. Filtered lies and the files ain't real. Praise dancing lies in her highlight reel. She shouts, she weeps, but the facts don't land. Cause the only thing honest is the cash in hand. Can I get a forge? Amen. Knees hit the ground, but not for prayer. She begging for likes with extensions and flair. Talking about pain with a lace front twist. Singing hallelujah with a venomous list. She claps off beat, but claps right back with a photo of claims and a filter track. She don't speak truth, she lip syncs tears and remixes shame to play on fears. Said she's healed, but ain't left the DM. Oh. Said she's clean, but them files still dirty. That ain't the spirit moving, that's a lightning ring and irritating a fiend. Filtered lies and the files are fake. Twerking through trauma for donation's sake. She shouts, she sings, she claims divine, but you can't spell gospel with no spine. Say it with your chest and not your cash out. You won't find peace in her confession, just courtroom edits and staged obsession. Choiring back, but the leads all capped, and the Holy Ghost just gave her a slap. She ain't breaking chains, she's breaking rules with her trauma tales taught in grifter school. So go ahead, shout, spin, catch that thrill, but that tambourine won't change what's real. She said, I can't clean. Oh no. Hallelujah, y'all. We take some fear. Never know these, y'all.
This is Baptist, not Southern Baptist. I feel fear when the Holy Spirit is thrust into my soul. That's so true. That's so true. All right, let's get back to like I said before, for every $5 super chat, you get a song, and for every 5 members, you get one also. Hey, man.
Records dating back to 2018 to be dragged through the public.
All right. When did the miscarriage occur, counsel?
Your Honor, I'm not sure that an exact date is known.
What month?
Your Honor, I believe my client went to the doctor in mid-November, and that's when it was determined that she had a miscarriage. We would believe that it was in the maybe month or 2 months leading up to that time.
So previous counsel should have disclosed that. Correct?
Well, Your Honor, I believe that the increasingly concerning nature of this case and the request for confidentiality and the request for the dismissal, I believe that given the fact that everything my client sends to respondent is being shared with the media, believe that warrants at least some degree of the court finding her actions to be reasonable. She is actually receiving threats to her life, voicemails on her phone. I mean, this is concerning conduct from the public. And so we were just waiting on, same thing with the deposition. I told Mr. Woodnick we would appear for a deposition if the court ordered us to. We just wanted to have the motion to quash and the motion for confidentiality ruled on prior to doing so because we wanted to have the court's input into if those things were necessary.
But counsel, my follow-up question to you then would be, if she had disclosed it in November, wouldn't this case have simply gone away and these issues wouldn't remain?
Well, no, Your Honor, because she did disclose the fact that she had a miscarriage. It's well documented in her pleadings. I understand that the medical record would be there, but my client does have a patient. She has privileges that.
Yeah, but she's claiming that this happened to her, so she has. You got to provide some sort of proof. No wonder Woodnick is a little frustrated with her. And MQ, yes, a song I did say. A song you're saying? Yes, a song I did say. And there it will be in just a second. Let me pull up the next one here. Now, this one here is it's a little bit interesting. So I've got multiple versions of this one, but we're just gonna play the one version of it. It's called "Tongue Like a Testimony."
Do you swear to tell the truth? Honey, I lick the truth. Then made it back. Her lips move like she's singing on beat. Crossed her legs while confessing he said he forced me with a smile too wide. But baby, she filmed it from the inside. Lick the lie, let it swirl like wine. Swallowed the truth right after line 9. She don't write briefs, just bends and grins, where the only thing pleading is between her shins. Tongue like testimony, slick and sweet, confessing crimes from between her sheets. No oath, no jury, just lips that lie, while sucking justice from a zipper fly. She moaned, Your Honor, and meant it. Her throat knew more than her legal pad. Told a tale that made innocence bad. She dropped to her knees in Exhibit B and sealed it all with a notary. Said trauma's real in lingerie, then tagged her lawyer in a thirst bouquet. She's not the plaintiff, she's the prize, with a tongue that testifies between thighs. I object. Overrule, Poppy. State your position. Oh, I will. Court will recess. testify, she makes the gavel weep. She gagged, and the record shows it.
What's a puppy?
She kisses guilt, then signs in red, with thighs like arguments and lies in bed. She cried for help, but sucked in sin, and left the jury wet within. So now she's back in heels and shame, a walk-in deposition with no name, and every lie she tongue twists clean gets filed in court as oral routine. She said, I'm innocent, with a throat so blessed. The stenographer had to sit down after that gag. Court's adjourned. Towels on the mic.
Thank you so much, MQ. Love it, Shizzy. Yeah, she gagged. Yeah, she gagged. At least that's what I heard. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't there, so I can't confirm or deny that. I just... Okay, let's get back to the trial.
That in this case are not only being not considered or not fully considered, but it's being taken even further, and her documents are being, I have no doubt that the second we send over that disclosure statement by the end of the week, all of her records will be on Reddit. And so, Your Honor, I don't believe that I understand where the court is coming from. And I think that had there been some sort of an agreement, we've offered for the documents to be shared between counsel. I've offered for him to come to my office and see the documents. And we've had some discussion about that. Obviously, the recent pleadings, I think, may change that from the court. But it's not us trying to hide the ball. It's us trying to make sure that my client's medical records aren't shared with the entire world.
All right, we'll have the minute agree reflect that no party is to disclose outside of themselves any medical or other documentation disclosed between the parties. That goes both ways. I don't want anyone releasing any exhibits, medical records, or anything else regarding the other person. And that goes both ways.
But she's been releasing her own stuff. That was the thing. She was releasing this stuff out on her own.
Truthfully, should go without saying, but I recognize it does not in this case. I am going to order that the records be disclosed dating back to August of 2020. That's right. 1 year prior to the first filing. I think that's appropriate. Mr. Woodnick, do you have a release with you today that she can sign?
I've sent that.
This outlines that it would date back to 2018, so I believe we need to redline it. That's fine.
If you'd like to adjust that, and then we can sign that and have that done today. Okay. You can do that now.
Judge, on the discovery issue, if I may.
Sure.
I appreciate Your Honor's ruling. Obviously, I'm assuming if there is something that comes out in those records that requires us to seek leave of the court to expand that, we can readdress that with the court. If something is in those records that imagine getting part of a medical record because of the date issue, we'd be able to come back to court and address that if necessary.
Both parties always have that right.
Secondarily, appreciate that Your Honor's not living this case every day, but the statement of counsel was just that mother says she had a miscarriage 2 months before November. In November, the parties appeared in front of Judge Gail Ketsis, where mother had a pregnant belly and told Judge Gail Ketsis she was 100% pregnant by my client. Your Honor's not adjudicating that today, but I'm asking Your Honor to take back the protective order proceeding that was granted in my client's favor for purposes of not consolidation, to be heard concurrently for the purposes of attorney's fees and sanctions on that matter. Because if what counsel just said is that she was not pregnant at that time and she lied to Judge Gail Ketsis in that proceeding, then I think that's sanctionable and Your Honor could enter orders under that proceeding. So I'm asking Your Honor to take, not jurisdiction, but to hear that matter concurrently or to have that file available for our upcoming evidentiary hearing.
Response?
Your Honor, I would ask the court to deny that request. Spoken to experts in this case preemptively about this trial. The reality is sometimes people have miscarriages and they don't even know that they miscarried. That I'm not saying that is the circumstance.
At 24 weeks, she's saying that she knew she was, that she said this is absolutely what happened. Are they going to kick Lawrence in the chin for the shame on you?
Here, I certainly wasn't present. Saying that my client has not lied in this case. She has not intentionally lied to the court. Whether or not she was pregnant on that date, I think she could have testified that she was pregnant and she could have had a miscarriage days prior. I don't know, but I believe that the testimony in her deposition, the testimony in her final trial, and the expert testimony that will come with it will make those things clear. I believe it'd be absolutely inappropriate to throw out previous proceedings in this case based on my statement, not even my client's statement. There would need to be an evidentiary hearing in order for that to be proper.
But I think that's what he's asking. He's asking that the evidentiary hearing be wrapped into this.
And Your Honor, that's not appropriate. The evidentiary hearing has already been done. And like I said, my client's statements that were made during that hearing were true to the best of her knowledge. The reality here is sometimes women believe that they're still pregnant when they've had a miscarriage, and they don't know until they go to the doctor that their levels are no longer appropriate for a pregnant woman. I do believe that is what occurred in this case. Timing wise, I don't know if any of us will ever be able to tell exactly when that miscarriage took place. But I do know that my client from our conversations did testify truthfully, and there were not misstatements that were made there. We're certainly not intending to change her testimony. But like I said, we have spoken to experts that have identified that sort of occurrence does sometimes happen.
Follow-up question to his comments. Counsel, are you asking that I revisit the order against harassment or just for purposes of fees and costs?
Just for purposes of fees and costs, because the order was appropriate that Judge Gelkatzis entered. However, she did not order fees and costs. I would contend that if she knew what we think the evidence will show, which was that Ms. Owens just lied and said she was 24 weeks pregnant with twins, and then apparently had a miscarriage apparently 2 months earlier, that had she, if any of that is true, that had she known that was her testimony at the time, she would have ordered attorney's fees in Mr. Echard's favor. And I'd like that to be on the table at the evidentiary hearing.
Absolutely.
Okay, so then if I'm hearing you correctly, what you're saying is the separate cause number is, you think, what delineates and prevents the court from awarding fees and costs at our evidentiary hearing in its totality.
I'm not even sure if I'm right about that. I know that the court changed the rules and required us to use different cause numbers. Otherwise, it's the same parties, and it could be the same cause number. But our rules require us to have two separate cause numbers for the protective order proceeding, which has already been granted, in this tail end of a paternity matter. I'm just asking that Your Honor treat them as one for purposes of any attorney's fees and sanctions you may choose to order at the upcoming hearing.
Absolutely.
Final thoughts on that?
Your Honor, this is a res judicata issue. The issue of attorney's fees pertaining to protective orders and injunctions against harassment have already been litigated. They've already been decided. In my opinion, to the extent, well, one, I do believe that it would inhibit, I believe it's a separate case that would inhibit this court's ability to order fees unless it were to be merged, which I don't believe is appropriate with it already being over. If there were more evidence after our trial that would warrant Mr. Woodnick believing that his client would have been entitled to fees, I believe that he would need to take recourse with that judge in that case number and seek appropriate remedies. I don't believe it's appropriate for the court to reissue something that's already been litigated in anticipation of Mr. Woodnick's assertion that there may be additional evidence that would prove his client's claim. There certainly isn't at this point. There haven't been those things proven at this point. So I'd ask the court to deny the request.
Did either party have an attorney at that hearing?
Yeah. Yes, Your Honor, I believe both.
Okay. All right. So then what the court is going to do is the court is going to hear evidence and testimony as it applies to sanctions and attorney's fees and costs dating back to the filing of the petition, all pleadings filed within the Maricopa County Superior Court. So everyone's on notice to be prepared to present testimony and evidence on that. Whether I ultimately award anything as it applies to that case, I can't tell you right now because I haven't heard any evidence or testimony. But I'm not going to preclude myself from that option at this point. So we'll have the minute entry reflected so that it's clear.
Your Honor, if there was, and I wasn't present during those proceedings, but if there was an order denying the request for attorney's fees at that time, is this court setting that order aside?
No, I definitely wouldn't be, but are both parties I recognize that the court can take full judicial notice of the entire docket of the Maricopa County Superior Court, so I don't need your permission to go look at that case, but I do think I need your permission to go watch the hearing. Do either of you object to me going and watching the hearing?
Absolutely not.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so we'll have the minute entry reflect that between now and June 10th at 8:45, the court will review the order of harassment hearing. Do we know what date that occurred on?
The hearing dates, it was split in two. There was October 24th, 2023 and November 2nd, 2023.
Thank you. November 2nd, 2023. All right, so the court will review that between now and then, and that'll give me a little bit better idea of what authority, if any, I have. That just wasn't something I was willing to look at until I had the party's permission.
Thank you, Tricia.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, and then with regards to Mr. Woodnick's request for the DNA testing and the vital records, is that disclosure you intend to present today or by the end of the week, as you talked about earlier?
DNA testing and the vital records, what exactly are you referring to, Your Honor?
If you look at page 14, I believe it was of his response to your motion, it requests the court issue an order compelling Ravegan Inc. to produce all records and documents related to fetal DNA testing in this matter, and subsection D was issue an order compelling Vital Records to produce all records and documents related to fetal death certificates under, and then the appropriate ARS for alleged twin fetuses born to petitioner.
Well, Your Honor, there isn't, to my knowledge, there isn't a Vital Records record or request that would be able to be produced because there wasn't one regarding the DNA testing results that will be included. So what my client has will be included in our disclosure.
Okay, and when is that forthcoming, today or?
It'd be by the end of the week, Your Honor. I just have to prepare. And just for the record, I believe that Mr. Echard did participate in those with the DNA testing, so I'm not sure why he wouldn't have received those records independently as well.
And obviously, I don't know either, but I did read in your motions that one of the results was lost in the mail, so I don't know how else that was conveyed to anyone, whether it was conveyed or not, I don't know. So recognizing that it may be moot, yes, Mr. Woodnick?
If you can help us, smarter than the associate whispered in my ear, Jen requested you to release the information. So if Your Honor would be inclined to, since Mother's obviously now cooperating, if Your Honor would be inclined to endorse or include language in there, I'm happy to shepherd it over to RabGen, directing them to produce all records related to any DNA tests taken by or with Mr. Echard and or Ms. Owens in the past 10 months, whatever it's been, that would be our request.
And Your Honor, for the record, I don't have an objection to that. I believe it would be an appropriate disclosure.
Okay, well, go ahead.
The other thing in our request was we had wanted Mother to sign the requisite fetal death certificate, the verification, so we could get those records. I realized Mr. Heath can't testify, but is the position of Mother there will be no fetal death records because none were ever submitted? If that's the case, I'll let the issue go. I'll address it at trial, but him testifying doesn't really cut it on that issue. If not, we need confirmation from the state of Arizona that there are no fetal death certificates.
Yeah, and that's where it becomes a big issue right there, because he's gonna come back and he's gonna say, well, there's no fetal death records, but at that point that would have been, if I'm not mistaken, required.
And Your Honor, that is correct. And on that note, and I haven't addressed this with Mr. Woodnick, but I think it might be appropriate for us to amend our initial petition just for clarity at this point and to make sure that all parties are on the same page with what's being pled. So I would ask the court for leave to amend our petition just so that we could make these points clear in anticipation, although I do believe the discovery and her deposition will probably do that to an extent. I believe it's appropriate for us to make that clear in the pleadings as well.
And what are those intended amendments, counsel?
Your Honor, the amendments would be just outlining the new circumstances. Obviously, her petition was filed predating any sort of miscarriage or likely even a lot of miscarriage surrounding the pregnancy. So it would be to make those things more clear. And also, Your Honor, I don't believe there were attorneys at the beginning of the case, so it would be to make sure that we're explicitly requesting attorney's fees as well.
Okay. Don't you think your motion to dismiss addressed that?
Your Honor, I think the motion to dismiss did address that in part, and it did request attorney's fees for the motion to dismiss. But if we're going to request it for the entire case, I believe amending the petition would be appropriate. I'll also note, I believe the respondent was just allowed to amend his petition a month or two prior. So I don't believe that it would prejudice anyone with us scheduling the trial out so far. I'd have no objection getting it done in a week. And if the court wants to consider our motion to dismiss a request for attorney's fees for the entirety of the case, I would be fine stipulating to that and saving the motion practice as well. And maybe Mr. Woodnick is stipulating to that.
She wants to make, if Your Honor wants to consider her claim for attorney's fees at trial, I have no issue with that. I have an issue with amending a paternity petition, which was perjured, because I don't want to be precluded from addressing the perjurous statements in the paternity petition. If they want to amend it, that's fine, but I'm not ignoring, and nor do I think I have to ignore what was signed and filed with this court originally and then repeatedly prior to us coming here today. And so I don't.
Yeah, I'm with him on that. Is she going to claim back alley? Well, that's basically what she's trying to claim. As a paramedic, I've transported babies born at 24 weeks to survive. We transported from adult hospital, children's hospital, into the NICU. Yeah. But she's trying to say that there was some little bit of tissue or something, and that's all that she had as proof of that. And then what they came back and tried saying that she absorbed the fetal tissue. That was the other thing that they were trying to claim. I mean, there was the story changed so much, and the reason why Woodnick is talking about this right now is because he doesn't want them going back and changing what they said, because what she did and what Woodnick believes that she did is she perjured herself in her initial claims. And that's something that, he's like, yeah, you don't get to change. He doesn't want this lawyer to come back and change what their pleading was to try to get out of, him basically winning in this suit. He knows that perjury is on the record, and he wants to make sure that stuff sticks in there because he doesn't want this crap happening again. Jay Hip, you get more than that, but you'll have to wait around for another 5 minutes. You'll get more than just stickers. You'll actually get a song. Oh, yes. And you will get a sticker in the meantime, though. But if you're really wanting to see something interesting, just wait. You will get a song a little bit later, and in the meantime, I'll just give you a little bit of that right there. There will be a song coming. Like I said to everybody, it's a $5 super chat gets you the song. We still need one for $3, and that will give us a second song, because that's where we're at with that one, or 5 memberships. And make sure you hit the thumbs up if you haven't done that already. It's going to be good, but you will get a song, Jay. Trust me on that. You'll get a song tonight.
I want to lose that opportunity because Mother all of a sudden realizes that stuff that she put in that petition was not truthful.
Okay. What we'll do is we'll treat the motion to dismiss as a request for attorney's fees and a motion to dismiss. Of course, I'm not minimizing that, but we will note in the minute entry, Lamar, that both sides are seeking attorney's fees and costs. And then the leave to amend based on the argument you've presented today is denied. In the event you need leave to amend for some other reason that doesn't change the alleged facts that were presented back in August, then of course I'm not precluding you from filing a separate motion to amend. I'm just denying your request as it's given to me today.
Understood, Your Honor, if I may. I just want to be clear. My intentions are not to change any of the facts that were originally pled, just to expand on the facts that were originally pled. I just want to make sure I'm clear on that for the record.
I understand. All right. Now, with regards to disclosure, since we're set out now in June and we've got the deposition March 1st, when's an appropriate disclosure deadline?
And
I don't know how much. It sounds like everything maybe still needs to be done, but truthfully, this is not a complex case. It shouldn't take very long.
You're going to have the HIPAA responses, so I guess I'll leave this one to
So don't know what we're getting, but if we get HIPAA responses, I guess the burden is now on us to take those HIPAA responses and go to the list of doctors that she said. I'm concerned that that's going to take some time. Is she signing the HIPAA release today?
Yeah.
Do you have an inventory of what you can disclose now?
Okay. Okay, that's fine. So obviously,
you just looked at him like, do you have a list of what you can disclose?
March 1st is a pivotal day. Why don't we we'll set the disclosure deadline 30 days, Lamar, 30 days before trial. And that is, from any disclosure beyond that deadline will be precluded. However, the parties are to complete initial disclosure no later than 45 days from today's date. So that gives you guys about 30 days after the depot. And then assuming that there may be additional depots that need to be done. Are there any questions about that schedule?
Oh, yeah.
Just my last comment, and appreciative of your time. Just so the court's aware, I have every intention of taking this HIPAA release, because I sent a bunch of them originally because there's a bunch of doctors that you claim. I'm just going to reproduce it and repopulate it.
Thank you, D. Robertson.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll have the minute entry reflect that Mr. Woodnick has been provided with a amended signed HIPAA release, and counsel agree that he may amend the provider.
And the date as well, Your Honor, because it requested and I'm worried that they won't accept it with me crossing off the date too.
Do you want me to sign it too? It might help.
I don't know how you want to do this, Judge.
Okay.
I'll defer to you, Your Honor.
No, that's fine. We'll just endorse. Who are we endorsing, Mr. Woodnick?
At the protective order hearing, Mother listed 4 physicians that she claimed she was treating her current pregnancy for.
Okay, and I don't want to disclose those today in the hearing because I'm not sure who I have here virtually, but can the parties send a joint email to the court with the names of those doctors? And so that I have a record of it, we will not put it in the minute entry because that is public. We'll just have the minute entry reflect, Lamar, that the court will be provided with 4 additional providers.
I think it's 4. Don't hold me to that.
And Your Honor, I think it'll be more. Just to be clear, I believe it may have been 4 then, but we'll figure out the list.
All right, we'll just have the minute entry cross out 4 and put more than 1. All right. So we've discussed disclosure, we've discussed the deposition, we've discussed all the pending motions. Mr. Woodnick, since this was your motion, is there anything you feel that the court has failed to address?
I think today was very productive. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Keith. Anything the court's failed to address?
I agree, Your Honor. Thank you for the court's time.
All right, there we go. That would be the end of that hearing. And this was February 21st, 2024 hearing. And there's also more. And J-Hip, you get 5 songs. So you guys know what's coming. So if you don't want to hear the music, that's fine. You don't have to hear the music. But J-Hip, there is no songs about you in any of these. I can guarantee you, not a single one. But we do have a song called Daddy Issues in 4K. Here it comes.
She said, I need closure. But she moaned it. One hand on the Bible, the other on Daddy's LinkedIn. Let's scroll through her trauma playlist. She want a daddy, not a dad, don't trip. Just a man with a suit and a legal grip. Boss certified, silver on the side. Gives her trauma tips while she rides that pride. Said I'm broken but spread like briefs. And whisper justice with gritted teeth. Every tear's an audition tape for her next daddy with the courtroom cape. Daddy issues, cry and grind. Sucking on trauma like a vintage wine. Wants a man with cash and a cross to bear, so she can fake heal while riding that chair. She calls it healing. He calls it deposit.
messaged the lawyer, thanks for the talk. Then sent a tit pic with the Bible block. Says she's in therapy and he's the cure. Now she got him risking that legal allure. He asked for dates, she gave him tears. Said you like my dad, but less with the beer. She don't want love, she wants the bill. With trauma, foreplay, and a gag or the thrill. I just need a safe space and 600-hour counseling. You remind me of my childhood, minus the jail time. Is your retainer flexible? So am I. Daddy issues, plead and pout. She cries and briefs, then blows it out. Alright, she's on the stand with trauma lips and a throat on demand. She's not healing, she's hustling hard, grinding guilt like a credit card. Each new case is a casting couch, and each new daddy gets milk for clout. She don't need hugs, she needs a fee, and a man old enough to have keys to DC. So she'll sniff your pain, cry in bed, then file a suit while giving head. She says she's searching for peace and a power dim in a trauma tale that's the villain until even knows when. Smile, Daddy. You're in her next exhibit.
And this next one is called Oops All Mugshots.
Please step forward, sir.
Ma'am? Huh? Hey, this ain't glamour shots, bitch. It's central booking.
She said, I'm a lady. The clerk said, where? With a 5 o'clock shadow and a meth head stare. Tried to pout, but the lip got stuck, and the lash glue quit after trying its luck. Turned left, and they flinched at the jawline blur. State your sex, she said, yes, sir. Filed her nails with a court summer slip, and posed like mugshot couture on a sinking ship. All mugshots, pick your pose. Duck face, drag with a meth head nose. Booked for fraud, but dressed for sin. With sideburns stronger than her case could win. She said, miss, this system said, mister. Called it a mistake, said she was framed, but the real crime that eyeliner maimed. Showed up dolled in a clearance wig, but the cop said, sir, step back, you're big. Tried to smize like she's Tyra's twin, but the cam picked up beard stubble chin. Said, I'm being silenced, book mid-rant with a dick print shadow in her yoga pants.
Sir, do you identify as male or female?
Bitch, I identify as misunderstood with extensions. Code 6 mugshot gave me gender whiplash. Oops, all mugshots can't pick a lane. Booked in heels, still looking insane. Fake ID, real testosterone. Got charged and misgendered before the dawn. She cried discrimination. They just said, damn. She wanted drama, not corrections ink. Now she's the meme with the toilet stink. Flipped her hair, it flipped back slow, and the cop said, ma'am, that's a bro. Caught in 4K, captioned them with a face that screams county gem. One last shot, chin up high. She blinked, it posted, and now she's guy.
Next one. This is 3.
Is her ass. Exhibit B, full frontal, mid the position. Exhibit C, her case, covered in spit and lies. All rise, the freaks present.
She dropped the file marked private use, but the DA saw cheeks and a bottle of lube. Swore it was trauma, but the frame said pose with her ass in the air and her toes on exposed. Wrote Exhibit A in Sharpie on tit, then cry revenge porn when it didn't hit. Courtroom gaslight slut in disguise, spits the truth out faster than she spreads her thighs. This that Exhibit XXX, gavel on grind. Filters and flashbacks all misaligned. Shaking that trauma for discovery pay. But the only thing real is the nut replay. Sustain. She said consent's complex, then rolled the frame. Zoomed in mid-thrust, then screenshot blame. Called it abuse with a ring hum. But the moan spelled yes and surround come. Tried to redact but forgot the flash. Now her fake tears trending with ass to stash. She a lawyer's nightmare, judge regret. With the booty so loud it's marked as a threat.
Your Honor, may I approach the bed? Objection. That's not a witness, that's a witness. Overruled the court. Recognizes the throat.
This that exhibit XXX, freak on file. Every frame a felony with clout bait style. Wrote abuse in the caption, then bounced on cue. But the timestamps match her OnlyFans too.
She said, he hurt me. Bitch, he filmed you begging.
Said my story matters in crotchless lace with a plea deal hanging off her face. Posted a clip, said justice for me, but the only thing she pressed was his deep. From court to cam, she's sucking receipts. Gag reflex stronger than illegal beats. She ain't a victim, she's viral bait with a mouth that files faster than she litigates.
The jury has reached a verdict. She's nasty as fuck. And the court agrees. That ain't evidence. That's premium content. Swipe up for more lies, gag, and unverified.
Oh, there's one more for Jay right here.
She says she's traumatized, but kept her jaw unlocked. Hey, freaks like her don't need trials, just trapeze. Let's get disrespectful. She a freak with a fake bump belly. Said I'm the mama, but her throat too jelly. No fetus, no cramps, no birth entail. Just a pregnancy hoax and a throat full of mail. Said he used me, now you wrote for views. Gagged on lies like they came in twos. Claimed a miscarriage, cried for the gram, but we all saw you deep throat to sketch me on the court steps. Freaking out loud, sucking up pity from a courthouse crowd. No case, no kid, just a throat on tour that swallowed his name and came back for more. She ain't the mama, just a meat in the middle. She ain't the mama, just a meat in the middle. Swallow truth like nut on cue. Then called it trauma with a Christian view. Says she's pregnant from head, not hips. Now she birthing lawsuits from cum-drenched lips. Bent over IG with a halo glitch. Tongue out, begging like a bailiff's bitch. Played pro-life with a porn star flair. Only labor she had was riding air. They said, where's the baby? She said, in spirit. But the only thing stretching was that esophagus.
That'd be hilarious.
She ain't crowning, she's gagging, baby. Save the epidural for your next OnlyFans drop. Catch me on the court steps, freaking full tilt. Swallow more lies than the case she built. No belly, no bump, just a wet ass tail of a chick who fakes trauma and spits out bail. Fake baby, real dope, zero shame, real dose. Fake baby, real throat, zero shame, real dose. She ain't showing, just blowing off steam. Fellatio queen of the courtroom scene. Says she was due but delivered cap. Now sucking justice off a snapback lap. From fake pee sticks to falsified pain. She'll swallow through the truth then call it a stain. She's not the mama, just drama and lace. With a throat so blessed it should plead the case. She said she's broken. Nah, just over you.
Got you.
Her dad reflex should testify under oath. Catch me outside, she moaned, and the court said gladly.
Okay. Was that all of them, or is there one more? Let me see. What do you guys think? One more song, and then we call it a night. I think one more song, we call it a night, guys. It's, this is called, it's, let's put it this way. It's a mixed song. It's a mixed song, so enjoy this.
Ay, papi, I'm not the bad one, but your life's still red. Yo no soy la mala, just for the test and blame tu cara. Said I loved you right to the judge, then leaked your DMs with a petty grudge. I la bruja.
Yes,
Well, you lost your job and you're not too, huh? Swore I'd never expose that night, then screen recorded your dick mid-fight. Yo no soy la mala, pero te jodí. Burned your name on live TV.
This one I had some help with.
Tú eres el diablo, then sucked off karma like I wrote the Bible. I pray, then press and swallow with an edit. I mean, I would swallow it all. I'm so tight. Said you were abusive, but kept the vid of me choking you while I rode and slid. Told my mama you were Satan's twin while begging for round two with a grin. Filed a claim, said I fear for my life, then posted throwbacks in your bed that night. Called the cops, then called you boo, then asked can I still sue you too. La que llora, la que graba, la que breaks your feeling too. Even post that shit on YouTube. Yo no soy la mala, pero te jodí. Took your piece and streamed it free. Swore on Dios that I told the truth, but we both know that no was proof. El juicio. Mi telenovela now. Baby, I'm clean, sin test, sin plan, but still got you crying like a YouTube stan. I never lied, just forgot some facts, like how my tears sync with super chat. Said I forgive while I file the appeal, then dance on your life in TikTok heels. I'm not the villain, I'm just the muse of a soap opera where you always lose.
Thank you guys so much. It's been a wonderful night. What joy in my heart. Thank you. Thank you very much. And I will see you guys same time, same place tomorrow night. Have a good one. Peace, y'all.
Oh, you thought I was done, bless your heart, but I'm still living rent-free, it's a work of art. Call me daddy, call me nut, call me the goat. You're paddling upstream while I'm running this boat. You say, I don't care, yet you're glued to the screen. Caught up in my glow while you stay unseen. Your shade's like a breeze, it's barely a draft. Meanwhile, I'm the Picasso of roasting your ass. You say you're over me, oh how cute, but here I am, still the star of your loop. You're my biggest fans, don't even deny, so grab some popcorn when daddy goes live. Live. Call me daddy, yeah, shout it loud. King of your thoughts, I'm making you proud. Pop a nut, shizzy daddy, headline act. Your background noise, and that's just a fact. Let's face the score. You hate that you love me, but you keep wanting more. You're like a dog chasing cars, you don't know why. But here you are, barking while I touch the sky. Your comments are gold, such comedy gold. Who hurt you? Oh wait, it's me, I'm told. You're keeping tabs like an unpaid intern while I'm cashing checks. When will you learn? Your timeline's a shrine to every move I make. I'd say thanks, but you're a nasty skank. Oh, shizzy's washed up. Yeah, sure, Jan, yet here I am, the centerpiece of your plan. You hate watch my stream like it's Oscar night, but guess what, kiddos? I'm still shining bright. Call me daddy. Send in your bread, I'm still rent-free in your effing head. Pop a nut, shizzy daddy on your brain. I'm your mental landlord, you can't complain. Let's keep it real. You hate that I'm winning, but you love how it feels. Oh, I'm sorry, did I break your streak?
clout. I'm here sipping coffee, watching you freak out. You're irrelevant. Wow, what a take. Now go rewatch my vids while I count how much I make. I count how much I make. Call me daddy. Yeah, own it now. I'm reading your brain and you don't know how. Pop a nut, shizzy daddy, let's at the bar. I'm the constellation, you're a burned out star. Embrace your role, cause I'm the main character. You're just an old ragged ass, burned out troll. So that's your bedtime story, kids tucked in sweet and snug. Shizzy daddies forever, you lose and you're stuck in the mud. Now say goodnight to Papa Nut, your mental pain. Oh wait, you will see me tomorrow's agenda will see me tomorrow. Same obsession, same effing thing.
Show some love.